G'day cocktail lovers, it's time for another of my favourite cocktail recipes to go in the book, and this week's recipe is a lesser known that I think qualifies as a classic simply because it's an old recipe. It's called the Imperial. There are no spirits in this cocktail. The core elements are dry vermouth and maraschino liqueur, which does make it lower ABV than a lot of cocktails. I'm always surprised when I end up really liking a no spirit cocktail, because the majority of my favourites are the really boozy stirred cocktails. If I hadn't already tried this cocktail and really enjoyed it, and someone offered it to me, I would just be giving them a look. Do you even know me?
You're talking to me? Then who the hell else are you talking to? Talking to me?
Which goes to show, I suppose, I don't know myself as well as I think I do. The Imperial cocktail dates back to the 1800s. It was published in 1900 in Harry Johnson's The New and Improved Illustrated Bartender's Guide. That's another reason I was suspicious of this recipe when I found it. These old cocktail books, it seems like fun to go back and look at them, but then you look at the cocktails and go, that doesn't really sit right with modern styles. And honestly, when you look through them, I feel like they were just throwing every idea at the wall and seeing whether or not it worked, and whether or not it worked, they put it in the book. Looking at some of these cocktail books, I get the feeling that the bartenders would take turns going, there's some stuff back here we really have to use up. Put it in the book. Here's another tip for the old cocktail books. If they say French vermouth, they mean dry vermouth. If they say Italian, they mean sweet vermouth. They also often have odd measurements that we don't use anymore, like they'll refer to a wine glass, half a wine glass, or a pony. Sounds like something Grandpa Simpson would say.
And in those days, nickels had pictures of bumblebees on them. Give me 5 B's for a quarter, you'd say.
When you see references to a wine glass in old cocktails, a wine glass is 60 mils or 2 fluid ounces. So half a wine glass is 30 mils or 1 ounce. You don't need a lot of ingredients for this cocktail. There's the dry vermouth, and I'm going local rather than French with Regal Rogue's Daring Dry. My maraschino liqueur is actually from Croatia and comes in a bottle I'm pretty sure hasn't had a redesign since the 1970s. Bringing in some interesting flavour accents, that it includes a few dashes of absinthe, and the recipe's rounded out with some orange bitters. I found this recipe on Simon Difford's Guide website, and he actually made fairly significant changes to the 1900 recipe. When I look at the difference, I think he's probably on the money. His style is more to, way modern cocktails are made. The original was equal parts of the dry vermouth and the maraschino, which seems way heavy on the maraschino. Difford was much more the vermouth and a little bit, comparatively, of the maraschino. That's the version I tasted and really liked. It made my top 10 list in 2025. But you know what? I never gave old Harry a chance. I didn't make his. So I think it's only appropriate he gets a run and I try both those recipes side by side.
Nothing can possibly go wrong. Possibly go wrong.
I can see some stuff I need to... Almost got that whole sentence out.
That's the first thing that's ever gone wrong.
Having said all that, let's get right down to it and make the Imperial, starting with the 1900 recipe. In a mixing glass, put 1 ounce or 30 mils of dry vermouth, then 1 ounce or 30 mils of maraschino liqueur, then 2 dashes of absinthe, and 2 dashes of orange bitters. Stir on ice for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink. I'm straining that into a chilled Nick and Nora glass, garnishing it with a maraschino cherry. Then we make the modern version, and that's 75 mils of dry vermouth, and then 3/4 of an ounce or 22.5 mils of maraschino liqueur, and then 3 dashes of absinthe, 2 dashes of orange bitters, and to bring those flavours out, I'm putting 4 drops of saline solution. Once again, add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink. That's also getting strained into a chilled Nick and Nora glass and garnished with a maraschino cherry on a skewer. And here we have the 2 versions of the Imperial. I think I should try the one I've already had first, the one that was my favourite, just to refresh my mind on how much I liked it. You really want to use a good vermouth with this. It's really tasty. It's got a nice bright flavour because I used a nice bright vermouth. Now this is the 1900 version. That is so much sweeter. Honestly, if you got a sweet tooth, go for this. I won't say I don't have a sweet tooth. And maraschino liqueurs can be a really intense flavour. So that equal parts, I think for most people, is going to be a bit much. If you want a fun experiment, by all means go ahead and try it. But I found this repeatedly. The old recipes are just out of whack with modern cocktails, and I much prefer the balance you get in modern cocktails. It's taken away the sort of cloying sweetness of the maraschino and brought it back into a supporting role, which is honestly where I think maraschino liqueur is at its best. You don't have to take my word for it. You can do what I did and experiment and decide for yourself. And you know what? At the end of the night, that's me back in my double fisting bullshit. Ah, oh, that was not a good noise. Try that again. Okay, the glasses are being dead. These are actually really nice glasses that usually make a very nice clinking sound, and I don't know why they're not. I shouldn't be this fixated on why my glasses aren't making a pleasant ting. I should just sit down and enjoy the drinks. That's what I'm going to do. I hope you enjoyed seeing that comparison, and maybe try it yourself. Let me know what you think. But most of all, come back, see me again sometime when I'll be doing more cocktails. But until I see you again, I'll say cheers.